The next drafting setting we're going to look at on the status bar is SC, Selection Cycling. So if I click on that and switch it on, what will happen at the moment is if I hover over that object there, which is a rectangle, you'll notice nothing happens. It just highlights in the normal way. That's because there's only one rectangle there, drawn in the drawing. There's nothing drawn on top of it. There's nothing sort of over the top of it, if you see what I mean. Now, the reason that I say that is if I drew another exact same shaped rectangle, but on a different layer, you wouldn't know that there was another rectangle underneath. So let me turn selection cycling off. And what I'll do, we're on the internal layer now. I'll go to the rectangle command here on the draw panel. And I'll click that corner there using object snaps. Notice that's why I've got object snaps on all the time. And I'll just drag upwards to there and click again. And I've got a red rectangle. But I don't know that the blue rectangle is underneath. How do I check that? I could very easily just click there, and if I delete that by pressing the delete key, it's like, oh, hello, there's another rectangle underneath. I'll just undo that because I want both rectangles there. You'll sometimes get third-party drawings, and what you'll find is there's objects on top of each other and you don't know they're there. So selection cycling allows you to work out what is there. It's not a perfect tool, but it's very handy when you've got objects on top of each other like this. So I'll switch selection cycling on. Hover now, and you'll notice when I hover, look, see that little blue symbol by the crosshair? It's telling me that there is more than one object there. So when I click on that polyline now, I get the option, there's two polylines there, different colours. And I can go to the selection list and select the one that I want to select. So if I now select the blue one, what happens now is it's selected the blue one and not the red one. So if I press delete now, it will delete the blue one and the red one is left behind. If I go back and undo that again, you'll notice now the red one is still there and also the blue one is still there. But I've got selection cycling on, so if I hover, there's my little blue symbol again. I click. This time I might select the red one. If I delete the red one by pressing the delete key, you can see there that obviously there are two rectangles and the blue one was underneath. So I'll undo that again, and selection cycling, every time it gives you that little blue symbol. So I'll click there. I'm going to select the blue one, and I'm going to hit the delete key and delete the blue one. Now with selection cycling on, if I hover, you'll notice there's no symbol because there's nothing underneath that red rectangle. If I right click on SC here, there are settings that can be set. So you'll notice not much, but they're useful. Allow selection cycling, obviously. Display selection cycling list box. Yes, you always want that to display. You want it to be cursor dependent as well, so it's close to the object you've selected. And in this case, the distance in pixels is 25, whereas the quick properties was 50, but that's because it's a bigger box on the screen. It takes up more space. The selection cycling is much smaller. And you want to show the title bar of the selection cycling so that you know what it is that's popping up on the screen. Later on, you might want to turn that off. I'll OK that. All those settings are fine. And the good thing about selection cycling, again, if you don't need it, you can just hit the SC on the status bar like that and switch it off. So that's selection cycling for you. Very useful on third-party drawings where you might have objects on top of each other.